Hello, I'm Tim Linsdau. I'm a video producer. I want to talk about impartiality today. Now, what does it mean to be impartial? Well, it's really something to do with judging others. Unfortunately, when we see somebody we haven't seen before, we start to make judgments about them, their clothing, their looks, their mannerisms, and then we start to make immediate judgments, which is foolish. We need to get to know the person. Christ used a story for his disciples. He said, say you're in a room with a group of people, and one fellow walks in with a gold ring and fancy clothes, and you put him in a place of honor. And then somebody comes in shabbily dressed, and not well cared for. And let's have him stand over in the corner, or maybe at my feet, something like that. And we know that we don't know anything about them. They may even be there testing us. It's an important distinction to make, that we aren't judging. We can discern, but you discern based on people's actions, I think. What do they do? How do they react to others? But it really comes down to loving others. If we truly love others, we're going to do our best to get to know them. If we think of ourselves as being patient and kind and loving, we're going to want to know more about them, learn something about them, open up a dialogue so we can talk to them. And you have to give that a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. You don't know where they're coming from. It reminds me of that old saying, got to walk in another man's moccasins for a mile before you start judging them. That's important. You just don't know what might have happened to them in their lives. I was having a conversation about warriors. And there's a lot about PTSD these days. And if you've never been in the military or experienced combat, I very much doubt we could understand that. We watch movies and television and see that kind of thing. But to really have experienced it, we just don't know. And it's not only war, it's family abuse, work abuse, who knows, bullying, any of those issues that you might not have experienced can affect people in different ways. So we're all coming from a different place. And the more we are loving enough to get to know each other, that's important. Be patient, give it time. Of course, don't be careless. That's important. In today's world, where we have a lot of fear of terrorism, foreigners, you might use that word. We've got a lot of fear going on, and fear is going to move you to snap judgments, and that can blind you to this person, to knowing anything about them, to being able to help them, carry on a conversation. That, what can you learn from that person? There might be a lot that you can learn to improve yourself. And when you let's say you're open to people, you can learn something. Not only learn about them, but maybe there's something they can share that can help you. And that gets us back to being impartial to others. Because when we're partial, we're judging. And we have to be careful about that. But I think we have to remember that discernment and impartiality are two different things. One is knowledge and understanding about someone and their behavior versus judging them are two different things. So I think it's important that we consider that in our lives. How are we viewing people? In a politically driven world, one word sets off people's partiality. Just one word, and they start imagining all these things about this person and what they think. And your own prejudices start getting in the way. And those come from the experiences you've had. Particular race, if you will. If you've had an issue or an event, I guess I would say, with somebody of a different race, you may have developed some bigotry. And it's not being impartial, because it's just that one incident and that just that one individual. Doesn't mean they're all that way or everybody's all that way. It's so easy to fall into categorizing, like to put people in compartments. And I suppose it's some kind of a comfort for us to do that. But again, it's not being impartial. We need to remember that impartiality, to get to know people. Let them be themselves so that you can learn from them, find out where they're from. Again, maybe you can help them, maybe they can help you, who knows. But that's an important part about that word impartiality. Think about that. Give it some thought. How did I react to that person? Did I give them a chance? Did I stereotype them? It seems quite common today, but I think it's always common that we judge people and stereotype them. Maybe out of fear. I think we do that out of fear. We're afraid, and it might give us an excuse in the way we might treat somebody, and it's not right. Need to remain impartial. It's very important. This is a tough situation, that when you realize that you might be racist, bigoted, not impartial. It's a tough thing to realize that you probably are. I think most people suffer from it. So, I think we should give that some thought and strive for that impartiality. Strive for it. Do what you can to find it. Be open and loving. That's what the word love is about. Just think about how impartial, and you read about the story of Christ's crucifixion, when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And in our ignorance, when we are not impartial, that's what it's about. In that ignorance, we sometimes our actions are very poor out of fear and being partial to others and putting them into places we think they should be, rather than being loving and having that time together and learning from one another. So take the time to think about this. Be impartial to others. Think about that. Are you being bigoted Because you react to somebody's looks or one word they say. And just wait. Strike up a conversation. Get to know something about them. And you can learn something about yourself. I'm Tim Linsdau. Please like and comment on this video. And subscribe to my channel. Thank you.